Yeah, there's a chance that we get to the end of this and I've done this all completely wrong, but I think I understand. Hey guys, it's Friday. You know that's Movie Minutes. We're back. We had a great week. We had some fun with Ryan. We celebrated our 50th episode. And today we're going to talk about one of Jack's favorite movies. Jack, hit me.
One of my favorite movies. And this movie, if you know me well, you'll know that my favorite movies, a lot of them are animated movies. And that's because they're quick hitters. They're usually on the shorter side. They're super entertaining. They keep you entertained. If you can keep a kid entertained, you can keep me entertained. So that's kind of my rule of thumb. So if you know, Lego Movie is a classic. I love Lego Movie. We talked about that last week. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. I guess we talked about that a little bit last week too. I forget which ones we talked about, but quick hitters, punch you in the face, funny. Christopher Miller and Phil Lord, great, love them. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, Lego Movie. But they also have a little gem, which is titled Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And I know I was being ironic. It's not a little gem. This movie absolutely blew up. I actually have a memory of going to see it in theaters. I saw it 4 times in theaters. It's one of those movies that's like such a great theater experience too. Like the music, and it's like just seeing this new animation style highlighted on the silver screen. It's just a great experience. But I wanted to see it the Thursday night. I'm a big Thursday night moviegoer, if you know me. So when I want to see a movie and it's coming out on Friday, I go to see it on Thursday night. Like that's what I do because I want to see it. I've been waiting for it, so I want to see it as soon as possible. I wanted to see it on a Thursday night. It came out. It was in December. We were on Christmas break, and Bryce did not. My friend Bryce, who friend of the podcast, probably doesn't watch it, but I've mentioned him multiple times. He didn't want to go that day for some reason, but I did not want to wait, and he really wanted me to wait. So we got in a little argument where he was like, "Are you seriously not going to wait to see this movie?" I was like, "No, I've been waiting for it." And then I was like, "I'll go see it again with you, though." And he was like, "No, I don't want to see it if I'm not watching it with you for the first time," which is a terrible argument. He did end up going to see it. I don't think he saw it. I don't remember if he saw it in theaters or not, though. But I had high praise for it. I went to go see it by myself. I'm a big movie theater by myself guy, which it's a cold take, but I have no problems with going to go see a movie by myself. It's an enjoyable experience. Like you go, like nobody's bothering you. You sit by yourself. You don't have to worry about anybody else. I mean, it's not like you're talking to people during the movie anyway, so I don't know why it's some social event, you know?
That's true. I guess that's fair.
Have you ever thought about that? It's like, why is it like a thing where it's like on a date you go to a movie? It's not like you're actually like learning new things about the person. You're just sitting down and watching something together.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I've thought about that recently.
So, like, yeah.
I still have done it before, definitely. But
no, yeah. And it's a normal thing. I'm not saying like you're an idiot for doing it. But I'd have no problems. And then I also get criticism for this from some people because they're like, why do you go to a movie by yourself? And it's like, it literally is no difference for me. And there's a movie theater pretty close to my parents' house, so I kind of frequent it. I'm an AMC A-lister, so I can go see 3 movies a week for that low price of $20 a month. Not a sponsor. Also,
not yet.
Not a sponsor, and they're so not a sponsor that I'm going to throw some heat at them real quick because I'm upset at AMC. I'm upset at AMC, and this is totally going off the Spider-Verse. AMC is opening up their theaters in the middle of July. I'm not like super distraught about that, but they said they're not going to require masks for this reason because they don't want to stir up political controversy.
Interesting. I didn't know there was a lot of controversy about just wearing a mask.
It's not. There's not. If you're gonna go see a movie in a closed theater box where you're close to people, I don't know what they're gonna do about social distancing. I can't speak to that. If they're like enforcing strict 6 feet apart, maybe it's okay that they're not requiring masks. But
still, it's like you're just living in like a little tank for 2 hours with everybody else's air.
exactly, which annoys me. But I'll also throw some light on AMC because, like, not every corporation is black and white, bad or good. A lot of corporations make bad decisions. They make good decisions. One decision that I really respected that AMC made was they automatically paused my A-lister membership until the theaters opened back up, which
that is really nice.
which was nice of them. Because I probably would have forgotten, and I would have been charged for 4 weeks, 4 months, which is like $80 of me not going to movies. So thank you for that, AMC. I really appreciate that. And they also do a thing where it's like, I think they do a thing where it's like, if you cancel your plan, you can't get it back until 6 months.
Oh, interesting.
I'm not sure about that. I know a lot of those plans have like that. So that is nice that they didn't take advantage of that clause. And
definitely.
They stopped. So thank you, AMC, for that. Anyways, back to Spider-Verse, because this movie is insane. You have this whole new animation style. They had to buy all new tech to get this animation style, by the way. It's 2D plus 3D. It gives it a real comic booky feel. And it's just such a unique experience that you've never seen before. Makes it so much it just makes it a great theater going experience. That's all I have to say about the theater experience. The plot is very good. You have a character who is diverse. It's great to see diversity in these characters that are predominantly white. But another thing that's really sad is that they were getting hate mail. Like, people were mad that there was a black Spider-Man. Did you know this?
That's so I didn't know that, but that's just so insane to me. Like, I don't see why it really matters, And like, I think, it's just so odd to me. And I know there's like similar things like in Star Wars that I think that happened a little bit with like Finn.
What?
And like,
why?
I just don't know. Yeah, I don't know why. Like, it doesn't matter. Everybody can be like a character, and I don't see why there's any. Yeah, I don't see what the point is of like trying to segregate who can play Spider-Man or who can be a superhero. Like,
I don't know.
Miles comes from the comics, like.
Yeah.
So even like people who are trying to argue like, well, it's just not like the traditional Spider-Man, that they're wrong too. So it's like, yeah, that's very odd to me.
Yeah, I don't know if that was necessarily for Into the Spider-Verse, but I know that Sony was tossing around the idea of making like a live action Miles Morales movie before they made this movie, and like they were getting extreme hate because people. I'm guessing that the people that were complaining were white people. They just didn't want to give away their precious Spider-Man, which is so dumb to me. It's so dumb. You look at Peter Parker, which you even get Peter Parker Into the Spider-Verse, and you look at Miles Morales, and Miles Morales is just so much fresh. It's a breath of fresh air. Like, having the same cookie-cutter Spider-Man is old news. It's tiring.
Yeah. And, like, believe me, like, as someone who, like, I enjoy superhero movies, but I'm not super into them, it was getting really stale to me. Like, oh my goodness, we've had so many Spider-Mans. We've had 3 Spider-Men that are like, yeah, you can argue they're different, but like, they're all kind of the same.
They're all the same.
And like, I was like, okay. It's even to the point where I didn't see the second, I haven't seen Spider-Man Far From Home yet. And that's no hate to Tom Holland or to Marvel necessarily, but it's just like, I was kind of tired of the Spider-Man formula, and I really loved that Into the Spider-Verse was branched out both in animation and in diversity. I thought it was so cool. There were different Spider-Men, like, all across different universes.
Yeah. You got
Spider-Ham.
You get an anime, a Looney Tunes. Obviously, you get you get Miles Morales, who is African-American, and I think he's half African-American, half Puerto Rican, or half Latino. I'm not 100% certain. Where exactly. Then you get Spider-Man Noir, and then you get you get 2 classic Peter Parkers in this movie.
So, Peter Parker and Peter B. Parker.
Exactly. And I mean, they're great characters, don't get me wrong, but they didn't steal the show like Miles did. And you just get this whole new genre and style that just it just pops on screen. It pops.
Yeah.
It's not your cookie cutter, it just pops. And I can't explain why exactly, but I can say that It is a breath of fresh air. It was well needed. It was timely and very, very, very well made movie. Like
I agree.
I can't find anybody that definitively thinks it's a bad movie. The story is great. This is another one of those movies that I get really invested in, and it actually makes me cry. Spoiler alert: if you haven't seen the movie, please don't listen to this, because this is a very important part of the movie that gets me every time. Whenever Miles' uncle gets shot by Kingpin, and then Miles watches him die, that's sad. When his dad shows up, that's super sad. But when Miles' dad goes to Miles' dorm room and knocks on his door and is trying to tell Miles that his uncle died, but Miles won't let him in.
Man, that's the toughest scene for me too.
It gets me every single time. It's so sad. And then on the flip side of that, goosebumps. Goosebumps whenever Miles is becoming Spider-Man. Whenever he jumps off that building, it's the most beautiful sequence I think I've ever seen in a movie. In an animated movie for sure. It's the glass is breaking and it's 2D but it has this 3D feel, and he's diving down. The music that goes with it just fits it perfectly. Oh man,
the soundtrack is great. I love the soundtrack. Yeah. It's had several hit songs come out of it.
Sunflower.
Yeah, Sunflower.
Sunflower is still a bop. I don't care what you say. It's still I am not a Post Malone fan, but Sunflower is an absolute bop and a half.
I'm a Post Malone fan, and I'll also say Sunflower is a bop.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I love the Post Malone cameo in it.
Oh, true. Fun. And it doesn't even sound like him though. That's weird. It was like he was kind of voice acting a little bit on that. I think it's a Banksy. It's another one of those movies that I can quote on and on. And I actually bought it on Blu-ray, and then the week after I bought it, it goes on Netflix, which is so typical. So typical. Anyways, the next one's coming out 2022.
Awesome.
I don't know the exact date. They had to push it back because of coronavirus, obviously, but I'm excited. The animation style will be fresh to see again. I'm sure they're gonna have spin-offs. There'll probably be a Spider-Gwen movie that'll come out soon too. I'm excited for it. Whenever I was naming Spider-Man, I didn't even say Spider-Gwen, and she's one of the main characters. I'm not sexist, I promise. I see women too. I get to see men in movies. Yeah. So thank you guys so much for watching this week. We will be back. We'll be back next week with some more content, if you know what I mean. New Mount Rushmore. Yeah. What will it be? I don't know. Also, 1,000 subscribers by September 1st. I'll buy a random subscriber AirPods. Not everybody's getting AirPods, but I'll buy one random subscriber AirPods. Cool? Cool.
Cool.
Peace.
Bye, guys.